These 3 packets cost less than 1 herb start at the nursery, but they're also the 3 herbs that most gardeners fail to start from seed: lavender, sage, and stevia. Today I'm going to show you how to start all 3 using a synthetic-free setup. Plastic wrap is a humidity dome, and a soil mix you can make at home. No fancy gear, no synthetic fertilizers, just simple clean growing. Let's start with the foundation, the soil mix. Soil is usually where they go wrong: too heavy and they rot, too light and they dry out. Here's a synthetic free mix I use for all 3. We take 12 quarts of Fox Farm Happy Frogs, run it through a sieve, and then we add 3 quarts, which is the 4-pound bag of worm castings that we run through the sieve as well. We want to get all the thick, chunky stuff out of it. As you mix this, you're looking for something that'll hold moisture but is still airy. For Mediterranean herbs like sage and lavender, we're going to add an extra quart of perlite that we've ran through the sieve for a little bonus drainage. This version drains faster, so it keeps those roots from sitting in a swamp. You want to moisten this mix before you plant. What we like to do is add a quart of water to the bottom tray, put our cells in, and then fill them with seed starting mix. And what I found is this will pretty much optimize to a wrung out sponge. Not too wet, not too dry, that perfect medium. And after that, we're just going to fill and level out our seed cells. First up is lavender, the diva of the herb world. Most people are going to bury these seeds, crank up the heat, and that's exactly why they're not going to see any sprouts. On this pre-moistened seed mix, you're going to want to just put those seeds right on top, surface sow. Lavender needs light to germinate, so don't cover them with soil. Just press them gently into the surface so they make good contact. Now, with this being surface sowed, we're going to actually use a humidity dome on it, but instead of using a humidity dome, we're going to go ahead and use plastic wrap so we can wrap each individual 6 count cell. All you got to do is lay it loosely over the cell and seal the edges. This traps moisture and heat and still lets light through. For lavender, I aim for the mid-60s, cooler and bright. If your seeds are older, cold stratification in the fridge seems to really help them out. But this method alone will work as long as you're patient. Sage is easier, but it still has opinions. It likes a little darkness to sprout. It absolutely hates sitting in soggy soil. Make a shallow hole about 1/4 inch deep, drop 1 or 2 seeds in, and cover lightly. Same mix, but remember we boosted drainage with a little bit of extra perlite. I don't dome sage. I just keep the top evenly damp with the spray bottle. It's going to want a warmer spot around 70 degrees. This is usually going to get you sprouts in about 10 to 14 days. Last is stevia, the needy one. Even when you do everything right, germination can be low. We're going to stack the odds. On pre-moistened soil, I sow stevia heavily, several seeds per cell. They need light like lavender, so again, don't bury them, just press them into the surface. Now we turn the plastic wrap into a real heat dome. Stevia loves warm, 75 to 80 degrees. A heat mat on low or the brightest window you got will do great. Check under the plastic once a day. If the surface starts to lighten, go ahead and lift up that humidity plastic wrap and give it a good mist. The key here is to keep it consistently damp, not soggy, just damp through this whole germination process. Once you see green, you have 2 options here. You can start venting. Me personally, once I see the green, I go ahead and pull it because dampening off happens quickly, and I'd rather just check on it multiple times throughout the day than risk getting dampening off disease and all that work going down the drain. Same synthetic free base mix. Pretty well the same techniques across the board. Lavender, surface sown, cooler temps, plastic wrap for gentle humidity. Sage, shallowly buried, no humidity dome, gentle watering. Stevia, surface sown, heavily seeded, plastic wrap, heat dome, and consistently heated. Simple. Once they sprout, they go under the light so they don't get leggy. I still won't use any synthetics at this stage. Just that light touch of worm castings and good lighting is all they're going to need. For a full look at my seed starting shelf and my lighting setup, go ahead and check out this video down here next.